In the heart of Texas, a community is left reeling from the inexplicable disappearance of Caleb Harris, a vibrant young man with dreams as vast as the Texas sky. What began as a routine evening among friends has evolved into a perplexing mystery, leaving loved ones and law enforcement alike searching for answers in the shadows of uncertainty. Join us as we delve into the enigma surrounding Caleb's disappearance, piecing together the events of that fateful night and exploring the intricate web of clues and questions that have emerged in its wake. From the happiness of an evening spent with his two roommates, a playful new puppy, to the chilling silence of unanswered texts and unclaimed deliveries, Caleb's story is one that captivates the imagination and tugs at the heartstrings.
He means a lot to a lot of people.
Ellie Carlisle is the childhood friend of missing TAM UCC student Caleb Harris, the two going as far back as middle school. She, along with other volunteers, were part of a search party to try and find answers regarding Caleb's disappearance.
It was important to a lot of people, and I think that was very evident for how many people have tried to share and get the word out, and how many people came to help out today to try to look for him.
Such efforts Logan Johnson is close friends with Caleb's roommate. He jumped at the chance to lend a helping hand.
As soon as I found out about it, I got all my work out of the way and set aside basically all of yesterday to spread the word as much as I can in this basically entire zip code.
And everything we can look at, find, that's what we're trying to do.
In the heart of the Lone Star State, amidst the rolling plains and sprawling landscapes, a haunting enigma unfolds. The perplexing disappearance of Caleb Harris, a 21-year-old junior at Texas A&M University. With each passing day, the mystery deepens, leaving law enforcement agencies and loved ones alike grasping for answers in the swirling currents of uncertainty. Caleb, a young man with huge dreams, was known for his unwavering passion for the great outdoors, his love for the Lord above, and from the thrill of the hunt to the tranquility of fishing, his love for nature was as boundless as the horizon itself. With aspirations of becoming an environmental scientist and ultimately a game warden, Caleb's future seemed destined for greatness. But fate may have had other plans. You see, on the evening of March 4th, 2024, Caleb's world was shattered when he vanished without a trace. The events leading up to his disappearance paint a perplexing portrait of a night steeped in mystery and intrigue. As the clock struck midnight, Caleb found himself in the company of his two roommates and another friend, the air alive with laughter and the playful antics of their new puppy, a few cold beers together. Little did they know it would be the last night they'd share in each other's presence. As the night wore on, Caleb's actions took a curious turn. A routine Uber order at 2:20 a.m. on March 4th signaled the beginning of a sequence of events that would ultimately lead to his disappearance. Yet, despite the mundane nature of the transaction, it served as a harbinger of the darkness that lay ahead. Shortly after placing the order, Caleb stepped outside, leaving behind his shoes, wallet, and keys, with only his cell phone clutched in his hand. The significance of this decision remains a source of speculation, a puzzle piece in a larger mystery yet to be unraveled. At 2:58 a.m., the digital tether connecting Caleb to the world was abruptly severed, his phone falling silent and leaving his loved ones in a state of agonizing uncertainty. A glimmer of hope emerged when the cell phone pings came back at a Coastal Bend pain management clinic or in the area, a tantalizing clue in an otherwise bleak landscape. But the mystery only deepened with the arrival of an Uber delivery at Caleb's doorstep, unclaimed and unnoticed by those awaiting his return. Despite exhaustive efforts by law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, U.S. Marshals, and Texas Rangers, Caleb's whereabouts remain a haunting riddle, the answers to which elude even the most seasoned investigators. And as the days turn into weeks and the weeks are turning into a month, Caleb's family is left to grapple with the anguish of not knowing his fate. With each passing moment, the urgency to uncover the truth intensifies as they continue to cling to the hope that someone, somewhere, holds the key to unlocking the mystery of Caleb Harris's disappearance.
Fight with everything you have. Remember Scripture. God will reveal Scripture to you, and you know that Scripture. Come home. Just come home, because you've got so many people that love you, and we just want to see you. We want to go fishing. Just come home. Fight hard. Come home. We love you.
So Caleb is in his third year at A&M Corpus Christi, and he loves to fish, and he loves to plan things with his roommates for the week. And he was fishing with a couple of his buddies that Sunday afternoon, and went home, and they had dinner, and they had a new dog, or his roommate got a new dog, and they were playing with him and shooting videos of him outside and just having a good time, just like a typical 21-year-old boy would do. And he was last seen or heard from about 2:45 in the morning. And we have a last ping on his phone just after 3, right in that area. And his roommate called me the next day, that Monday, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and had already called the campus police and called the Corpus Christi police, and was at the end where they finally contacted his parents. And so about 3 o'clock, he called me and let me know that Caleb was missing.
In the heart of Texas, amidst a vast expanse of land and sky, the search for Caleb continues, a beacon of hope in the face of darkness. But until the truth is revealed, his story remains etched in the annals of uncertainty, a testament to the enduring power of mystery in our lives.
We had been texting the night before, different stuff about fishing and fishing the next day. So when I got the call, it was pretty gut-wrenching, like, yeah, there is something wrong. And so I immediately went to Corpus, and as soon as I got there, had the roommates had the police officer that was meeting with them, had his information, and that's when, he felt like this is not normal. This is a different situation where, Caleb disappeared, vanished, and so it was elevated at that point to a missing persons.
The disappearance of Caleb Harris is a perplexing puzzle with many potential pieces. While it's difficult to say definitively what may have happened without more information, because to be honest, we have not received much information. Several theories have emerged based on the details that have been provided. One possibility is that Caleb encountered foul play or an unforeseen accident while outside in the early hours of the foggy morning. Whether it was a chance encounter with someone or a tragic mishap, this scenario suggests that Caleb may have met with harm when he ventured out alone, barefoot. Another theory revolves around the ping from Caleb's phone near the Coastal Bend Pain Management Clinic. This detail raises questions about why Caleb would have been in that location and what businesses he may have, or what business he may have had there. It's possible that this aspect of the case could hold crucial clues to unraveling the mystery of his disappearance. Some have speculated that Caleb's plans for the future, including a summer job in Alaska and his pursuit of an environmental scientist degree, could have played a role in his disappearance. Perhaps there were elements of his life or aspirations that led him into a situation from which he couldn't escape. Ultimately, until more information comes to light, Caleb's fate remains uncertain. The investigation continues, fueled by the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering hope of his family and his community. And as the search for answers persists, only time will tell what truly happened to Caleb Harris on that fateful March night.
We knew that we needed to find some clues as to where Caleb was, and so we started looking at everybody that had snapped him or texted him or had talked to him, and we came up with that he was we knew that he was fishing that afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and then by like 11 o'clock or so, he was talking to his friend from New Braunfels Christian Academy that lives in Colorado. And then after that, he was with his friends about 1 o'clock, and we have some footage of him with one of his roommates and one of his friends playing with the dog in the parking lot. Previous to that, he had texted a picture to me, to Randy, and to my brother of the dog. So as we were trying to solve the puzzle of at what point did Caleb leave the apartment, we determined that the latest communication via technology was to my daughter, and it was a picture of the puppy at about 2:45 in the morning. We know his phone pinged at a little after 3, but we're not sure exactly where he was or if he had contacted anybody with that ping.
Phone actually quit working at 2:58, but there were some,
That's right.
after getting a subpoena with AT&T, we found that there was a couple other something pinging on the phone after that.
Caleb's dad says that he has never taken off or disappeared before. Again, when he disappeared, he has no shoes on. His wallet and his keys were left behind at his apartment. His truck was still locked. He only had his cell phone on him. He had planned on going fishing the next day. He had been texting with his dad about what he was going to use to fish. At the time of his disappearance, it's believed that Caleb was wearing a hat, white shirt, newer dark teal colored fishing pants, and if he was barefoot. Caleb had good grades in school. Law enforcement has no motive, no leads, and no person of interest. His roommates are not considered suspects. He's known them since grade school, and they have allegedly passed polygraphs. Now, the night that Caleb went missing, he has 2 roommates. One roommate and the friend that is seen in the video footage went and stayed with their girlfriends, leaving Caleb and the other roommate behind. Detectives are desperately seeking assistance from the public to solve this case. The case has recently taken the investigation to Caleb's hometown of New Braunfels and San Antonio, Texas. He worked at the Alamo Drafthouse Theater there in Corpus Christi. His parents are offering a $25,000 reward for information leading to Caleb. However, it expires March 31st, 2024, in an effort to create a sense of urgency for anyone that may have information. The only timeline we have, and it has changed a few times, this is the best timeline I can come up with because there's been so many changes to it. The timeline is as follows. From 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., Caleb is hanging outside drinking beer, playing with a new puppy with his 2 roommates and a friend. This is caught on a ring cam. At 2:20 in the morning, he ordered his Uber delivery. At 2:44 a.m., he let the puppy out and he Snapchatted his sister a picture of the puppy. He then took the dog back home and he stepped out again for an unknown reason. At 2:58 a.m., Caleb's phone was either dead or shut off. Around 3:10, his phone did ping around the Coastal Bend Pain Management Center. At 3:20, his Uber order was picked up at the convenience store and left at his front door. The Uber driver says nobody answered the door. She has been talked to and cleared. So I have quite a few questions about this case, and I think that the reason it may not be getting as much attention as some of the others, such as Riley Strain, who was recently found yesterday in Nashville, is because there isn't any information. It feels to me the parents are withholding something, and it's not that I think they've done anything wrong. I feel they may be either protecting their son's image, possibly the image of maybe their roommates. I'm not sure. It just feels like they're holding back on something. And I wish if they were, that they would share that information, because it could be the clue to finding Caleb.
Just so many things that just don't add up, especially at 3 in the morning. But he was planning a lot of stuff. It wasn't like he wasn't going anywhere. I mean, he was planning stuff. So that's what is odd about the whole case. As far we are offering a reward that we just announced today for the safe return of Caleb, and we'll be putting that out all over social media, local news networks in San Antonio, New Braunfels. We really are reaching out to everybody to check your cameras, check the time frame between 2 and 4 in the morning. And they've written a lot of warrants, a lot of subpoenas. Obviously, we have a judge down there that's right on top of it. So I think what we do now is continue keeping Caleb in the light. I mean, keeping him, he's out there. We feel like he's out there, and we're going to get him back. We just got to find him, and hopefully that he can, wherever he is, find his way back as well.
So I wonder what made him step back outside in the middle of night, barefoot, leaving his belongings and only taking his phone. Why did his phone ping at the area of the pain management clinic in the very early morning hours? Does that location have any significance in the context of his disappearance? Could his disappearance be related to his hobbies or his aspiration, his passion for the outdoors, his plan the next day for a fishing trip? What theories or scenarios do you find most compelling when considering what may have happened to Caleb? How do you think his story might unfold as investigators continue their search for answers? Because truly, you guys, they just don't seem to have any answers. They have not done a single press conference. We don't have law enforcement, only has done maybe a couple of interviews. The dad is doing interviews, and the parents have both done them together. They are very much into their faith, and they have faith that Caleb will find his way home. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? How can we help? Law enforcement is asking for the public's assistance. They've already checked for Ring doorbell cameras. They've checked for street cameras, and there just seems to be nothing. He just seems to have disappeared into thin air, and that's impossible. To those watching, we implore you, keep Caleb's story alive. Share his image, spread awareness, and never lose faith in the possibility of finding answers for any of these missing people. To those watching, thank you so much. And I implore you, please keep Caleb's story alive. It's just not getting the attention that it needs and the attention that it deserves. Share his image, spread awareness, never lose faith in the possibility of finding answers for him.
If he's out there, we know that he's recalling scripture, and he is a child of God, and we know that for a fact, and we love him. Just continue to pray and pray for his health and pray for his stamina, and that if he's in a situation where he just needs to fight, pray for the ability to fight.
Really hard to understand.
Hard for people who aren't like Randy and Becky Harris, whose hope and optimism are rooted in their faith.
Our prayer is that wherever he is recalling scripture, he is calling out, and he feels a hedge of protection around him.
Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. May we continue to hold hope in our hearts as we search for the truth for all of the missing people. Until next time, please take care of yourself, take care of each other, and stay safe.